right, Matrixx and Rhodes show supporters. Well, we got a little leftist on leftist crime. In this case, Marc Maron, a comedian, theoretically, in theory, he's supposed to be a comedian, slash actor, slash podcaster, has come out taking shots at Bill Maher. Now, I've never hid the fact that I'm a Bill Maher fan. I have been for, God, dare I say, we're going on 30 years now. Politically incorrect. I've said, hey, he's got a massive blind spot for Trump, no doubt, but he'll have anybody on his show. He doesn't give a rip what side of the aisle they're on. He'll sit down and have a conversation with them. He'll go on Fox News and other outlets, and he has been very critical of Democrats over the years for not being willing to wade into conservative waters and have a conversation. I give him credit for that. I also give him credit for the fact that he was the first Democrat ever to start waging war on the woke culture. And he started that maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. He started seeing the writing on the wall, and he started crushing them over it. He crushes them for a lot of their really radical, progressive, left-wing ideologies. But he's got a massive blind spot for Trump, even though a lot of his politics now sounds a whole lot like the same things that Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, Tulsi Gabbard, and RFK Jr. have said and have come out of their mouth. Fact is, there's part of me that believes that Bill Maher, you're in denial at this point. All right, you are. And whether or not he'll ever come across the aisle, I don't know. I kind of doubt it. But here we are. Marc Maron has come out and he is trashing Bill Maher because Bill Maher trashed Democrats yet again. Now calls him a follower of Trump, which tells me Marc Maron is clearly not paying attention. American Patriots did make comments on this too, and we'll check out the reaction from social media on it because I like to look at good reaction. I do. Speaking on Friday's What the F podcast with far-left commentator W. Camus Bell, who? Maron blasted Bill Maher, wow, who lightly criticized his fellow Democrats for quite some time and have accused Maher of being a Trump follower. I don't know where the hell I got Maher from. Quote, are you going to be like Bill Maher? You know, I'm going to agree with some of the things that Trump is doing. It's like, dude, you're a bitch, Maron railed, according to Variety. Maron went on to imitate Maher and said, I like Kid Rock, and now you're going to blow him with slightly disdained look on your face. That's who you are? So this guy's mad that he had Kid Rock on a couple of weeks ago. Wow. This Trump derangement syndrome at a whole another level. If one actually listens to Maher, though, siding with Trump is not exactly what he is doing. Maher has been criticizing the Democrats and liberals for their very stupid leftism that has alienated much of the country, setting up Republicans as the working class mainstream party. Yet, Maher still attacks Trump all the time. He does. He's got a blind spot for him. The extremist Maron recently explained why he can't stand anyone who seems to side with Donald Trump or any Republican. In his ravings, he warned that America is turning fascist. Even though I do not believe even though I do not do a political show, I've been very clear in my specials and on my podcast that I believe and have believed for years what is brewing in this country is American fascist movement rooted in half in grievance, half in Jesus. Oh, here we go. The attack on Christianity. And enabled tech oligarchs and the intonation of propaganda from many sources. Maron wrote on his podcast blog. You notice all these folks are atheists, or Bill Maher is, but Bill Maher has also come out and said he understands why a lot of people are Christians. He understands why people follow it. He doesn't agree with it, but he doesn't dog out Christians for it. He never really has. Well, it's fully percolated and pouring into minds of all of us. It is shameless and proud. Culturally, the combination of blatant racist fear-mongering and the anti-woke movement has delivered their message for the future, a future that marginalizes almost all voices. Strangely, he insisted that the anti-woke flank of the new fascism is being driven by his fellow stand-up comics. Wow, okay. Whether or not they are self-serving or true believers in the new fascism is unimportant. They are of the movement. Whether they see themselves as acolytes or just comics doesn't matter. This guy's nuts. This guy's a complete douchebag. Whether they are driven by the idea of what they are fighting for is free speech issue or whether it's truly morally bankrupt racist doesn't matter. They are part of the public face of the fascist political movement and seeks to destroy the democratic idea. Man, the only thing you left out was calling all Republicans Hitler and Nazis. I mean, you left that on the floor, dude. Despite his claim to be fairly towards democratic ideas and freedom of speech, in another blog post, Maron seemed to advocate for the censoring of free speech of anyone he claims is, quote, a terrorist or those that don't support the definition of, quote, woke. So this guy is a woke D-bag. Something that Bill Maher is not. Like I said, he's waged war. In fact, let me pull up some reaction to that before we move on. But Bill Maher is not down. Things like men and women's sports. Bill Maher's highly against that. All right. And that's generally speaking a bipartisan agreement, except for the very radical left side, progressive side of the party, right? Oh no, Bill Maher isn't 100% in line with the DNC and legacy media's allowed opinions. He's a bitch. Maron is nothing but a legacy media Kool-Aid drinker. Well, and that's been the odd thing about Bill Maher because, you know, he can have a show on a Friday night and on Saturday morning, he's getting dragged by more Democrats than he is Republicans these days. And that's been common suit for couple of 3 years now, maybe. Mark would have to go to yoga class to become two-dimensional. I did hear him say something funny the other day, though. This guy says I've never even heard of him. In fairness, I don't know that I know who Marc Maron is, but I don't know that I've ever actually watched him in anything. I certainly haven't watched one of his stand-ups. I mean, wow. It's crazy. That's all Mark does nowadays is bitch and moan. It's unfortunate. That's what he's known for rather than being a comic because he used to be funny. A lot of people are saying, I guess they've seen his comedic rants, F this loser. Is he talking about how Maher agrees with Trump's Gaza plan? This is what's wrong. This is a good comment. This is what's wrong with our country. The extremists on both sides want everything in lockstep with their ideology. Take note, people are meant to agree and disagree. We are not robots. When we learn this principle, and we might just stand a chance of healing our nation. Well, and the thing about it is, I think pretty regularly Trump shows everybody he's willing to work with anybody if he feels like it is a beneficial end for the country. Like, he doesn't give a rip if somebody's a Democrat or Republican. Hell, let's be real. I mean, we've all gotten to the point, there's a hell of a lot of Republicans we can't stand too. All right? They've kind of exposed themselves in everything, right? It's pretty sad when John Fetterman at times is voting closer to the ideals of Trump than some rhinos. And we know that to be a fact, right? So, anyway, I thought this was interesting. Here we go. We got a comic on comic crime situation happening here. And they hate Bill Maher. Marc Maron hates Bill Maher because Bill Maher is willing to have somebody on his show to have a potentially productive conversation. These people are nuts. The progressive left, they're lunatics. Again, I'll keep saying it. I never won't say it. Make asylums great again. I think that's where we started steering in the wrong direction. I'm keeping it real. I mean, obviously there were some serious issues with asylums in this country, but you can't tell me, there's not a mental health problem in this country. I swear. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.